Hey guys, this is Joe from the Hookin Hut, and I want to introduce you, first off, before we get to the main point, I want to introduce you to a new line of mug hugs that's going to be going into my school, Etsy shop, and it's worst timing ever, okay? Yeah. I'm focusing on doing garden type of mug hugs, but there's a method to the madness, and the reason being is because there's a gift shop nearby called Lavender for You that I'm hoping will be interested in selling stuff from my shop on consignment. And if you live in Southeast Ohio, either in Meigs, Athens, Gallia, Vinton, or even across the river in Mason County, West Virginia, fine. I am up, somebody who has a shop and they sell on consignment. Drop a note down there or message me privately at hookinpatterns@outlook.com or Happy Toy. Well, don't go with Happy Toy Maker. It always goes off to this other guy. Anyway, but hookinpatterns@outlook.com, and I'll put all of that down there because, I am really excited about selling my stuff on consignment. If you live in Columbus and you're familiar with Igloo Press over in Old Worthington, they're going to be selling, they put in a wholesale order, and they're going to be selling my little monsters. There's little monster pouches little kids can put toys in them that's big enough to put some tiny toys, little pocket toys in, and coins in, and what. And they're really cute. And she's going to be selling them in red, green, orange, and pink. Yeah, there's one in pink. And then she's also got my two, if you go to my shop and you look at the Yeti plushies, she's selling my Yeti plushies. I've only made two and I'm not making any more, so once those two are gone at her shop, that's the end of the Yeti plushies. Although, I am doing, don't know where they went. Sorry, I don't know where they went. Nope, I don't know where they went, but I do have Yeti mug hugs, and you can find those two on my shop. But anyway, the big part of today is someone named Jasmine asked if I would discuss how to make your own knitting patterns. And so if you went to my Hookin Patterns shop, you'll see I've only got two items up because I haven't gotten around to uploading all my other things that I have, and a lot of them I still haven't written up. But anyway, so that would make you say, yeah, what do you know about writing patterns? Well, I've created a lot of patterns, from little toys to crazy little simple things like this, to more complex things like Steelers hats. Design those. And there's Lily the cat in the background. A little cloche. My 3 ribs hat that you can get at my site, but you can also, the pattern's going to be a little bit available when I get off my duff and I get it done. I designed it, and my ice cream hat, peppermint ice cream hat. There's that. And then I've designed cows. Yes, I know I haven't woven in my ends. I hate weaving in ends, guys. I really do. And there's cows. And then my lovely little hat here. Another one of my designs. My design. Okay, I'm cheating. This is now crochet. I still designed it. And then handbags, where on the inside, what do you have? With a nice zipper opening to it, and on the inside you've got, I don't see it in there, but there's lots of pockets here that can be used for cell phone, pens, and pencil pockets, and what have you in there. And I designed that. And then this is my favorite design, and I designed this. And yeah, I design a lot of hats. I love hats. You can never have too many hats, same as you can't have too many handbags. Absolutely. No such thing as too many of either. But anyways, and you know, cute little guys. So, okay, he's crochet, I know, but I have crocheters who come in. So anyways, let me peek around, see if there's anything else. Nope. Okay. Not back here. And that's not including my, my what? I don't know. It's not including the scarves that I've designed and made. And so, anyways, so I have designed a ton of stuff. Doesn't matter about the fact that I don't have the patterns up in the shop yet. I have still designed a lot of things. So, contrary to the argument of people designing, who actually is a designer? Only the people who sell patterns. Well, sorry, I've got lots of patterns. I just haven't put it out there. Okay, so anyway, away from that, I'm sorry, Jeffy, and please don't spray me. Jeff the cat, when he gets mad at me, if I ignore him too much, he will come over and he'll spray my pants leg. And so will Lily. Those two have attitudes. Anyway, so what I thought I'd do is I would start off with one video and just show you the tools that I use when I'm coming up with patterns and stuff. And first of all, I really don't know where to go with this. I haven't fully prepared. So I'm just going to do it this way. See this? Okay. This is a teapot cozy. It's a 2-cup teapot cozy. And yes, it's crochet. But it's still the same principles. Totally same principles. What I did when I made this is my Fields of Heather teapot cozy. And what I did when I made this is that I went online and I searched, I collected, I have an invisible board on Pinterest, and I collected a whole bunch of pictures that people had posted of Fields of Heather in England. And so I took all those and I went through and I looked at all the colors that was in them, and then I came up with this design. I know, it doesn't look like much of a design, but you have to hear the story behind it. The story behind this one is that one of the things I saw was the soil in a lot of the pictures. And then, of course, on top of the soil was the nice green grass. And on top of the grass, right through here, it doesn't come out very well in this part, but you can see it up here, is the Fields of Heather. And above the Fields of Heather is the blue sky. Above the blue sky are the white clouds. Above the clouds is the sun. And then I threw in some gray because, oops, it's England, it's going to rain. So I threw in gray for the rain. And the gray, it really set it off because it needed that dark color to break up into each section. So the gray separates each of the sections into what was there in the fields. So that's what I did to inspire myself in making this one. So when you're coming up with design ideas, go to Pinterest and put in a topic of something that you like and take it from there and see what you can come up with color-wise. Can always help that way. And, like I did with this, like I do with practically all of them, of the special ones that I make. And so anyways, that's where you can get ideas for designs and stuff for color-wise. And speaking of color, that's something that I hear come up a lot in groups of, please help me with color. I don't know what colors to use to make this. Well, there's a very simple little gadget that'll make your life so much easier. Color wheel. This is a small one. I picked this one. I had a big one. I lost it. And so I picked this one up at Joann Fabric. And the color wheel, you won't use this side because this side is for painting. This side's not. On this side, what you have is, first of all, it tells you the instructions here and here, how to use it. But you can see, let me line that up with the orange here. You got this dark line that goes straight down, and this tells you what your complementary color is that goes well with yellow-orange. Yellow-orange goes really well with blue-violet, or blue-violet with yellow-orange, whatever. And then if you look here, then it shows you, see the triangle next? The triangle points to the next two colors that go well with that. And then you have the same thing here and here. And if you look, you see the rectangle there. So you get this color, this one, and this one. All go together. So you don't have to ever worry about, oh, which colors, I don't know, which colors. You can use anything within this these shades here. So what you do is you pick out which color that you like, and of course it spins around and you get a whole variety of endless shading color ideas. So what you do is you pick out what colors that you want to use. And then after you've figured out your colors that you're going to use, then just go to Walmart, Hobby Lobby, online, wherever it is you get your yarn, and find the closest colors as you can get to this. And so that will help you with your color choices. Okay, so color wheel is a huge tool that I like to use when my brain goes numb and I can't come up with anything else to use. And of course, the most obvious thing that you're going to use when you're designing is pencil and paper and calculator, because designing is basically all math of working out your swatch and getting your figures from your swatch and then taking measurements of your head or whatever body parts you got and that you're going to take measurements on, and you're going to have to be figuring it out from your swatch how that works. I'm not getting into that today. But anyways, what I like is, you can see how this curves up on the side. That's what I like. I like being 56 years old, I really like having a big visual screen and big buttons that I can see. But I like having that so that it's large enough and it's tilted up so I don't have to always be leaning over to see what the figures are when I'm putting them in. Another thing that you're going to need is obviously your knitting gauge, and I like the Boy 10 Plus. That's my favorite gauge. The only downside is sometimes I like to check, the actual measurements and stuff to see how it matches up to the old style of knitting gauge. And so I also have this, which comes out of the Stitch and Bitch knitters. Got a message from Etsy. Thank you. A knitter's design journal. And so you can also just use something simple like this, so you can get, your gauge figured out by here, and then you've also got your ruler on both ends of it. So anyways, which, speaking of that, the banging is my cat scratching his ear and hitting the trash can. Okay, so in the knitter's journal that I also like having around, because I take this with me whenever I leave the house because I might get an idea while I'm out. It's got a little pocket to store that. It has drawings of people in it at various weights and stuff that you can sketch out your design on. And you got plenty of graph paper over here. And this is regular graph paper that you can work things out on it. And then it has a lot of sheets of... Oh, Jeff. No, we're not. Oh, hello. Jeff, the one who will pee on me if he gets mad. It also has lots of knitting graph paper. And then you've got, it's a total resource in and of itself. You can store your measurements in it, yarn from your stash in it, and there's room for photographs, and there's cheat sheets and tips and all kinds of things in this thing. So if you go on Amazon, you can get them really cheap, actually. but it is a fantastic guide to always have with you when you're going out. Another thing that I have on hand is colored pencils, because that also helps, in conjunction with color wheel, matching them up with my colored pencils, and then being able to sketch out designs, color in the designs, how I want it to look. Because sometimes when you color it in, it may look good on paper, but when it comes to actually doing it, when you make the swatch, it doesn't work. It doesn't work at all. We've had some real bad experiences. Another great tool, and one that if you really, really are interested, teach yourself visual knitting design. Yes! This is priceless. It's like, in a sense, to me, it's about like the only book you'll ever need for teaching you how to design your own knits and stuff, because there's a trick to everything to make it go faster, and that's the fact that every item that you have, whether it's a hat, a scarf, a shawl, a vest, a jumper, whatever, socks, making slippers, mittens, everything has a basic master pattern to it. And that's what this book gives you. It gives you the master pattern to everything. So you can take that pattern that's already been figured out and you can tweak it to no end and create something of your own. I'll give you an idea. Let me see here. Where'd it go? I have no clue. I don't know where I got it from. When it was working at... Oh, this. Here we go. Let me show you this again. Remember that? Well, that is where the idea came from. I loved that pattern. So it was like, oh, I love the checks. No, you're not going there. Please go away. I loved the checks. So I decided, okay, I'm going to turn these checks into a pattern. So I went back and went to... well, at that point, I already knew from knitting so much. I knew what my gauge was in the yarn that I was using. It was 4 stitches an inch. So it was like, okay, no problem. So then I just figured it out to the size of my head, 21 1/4, and went from there with it. And it just gives so many different things, from all different types of stitch patterns you can use, and just all kinds of stuff as far as collar work goes, more collar work ideas, and the ideas are in here for you to use them and create your own collars or what have you, and then you'd have your own design for whatever it is that you're making. So if you just, I'll put the link down in the show notes because it is so worth getting. It really is. And I liked it so much that I went ahead, and I know I'm staring at you too. I went ahead and I picked up Teach Yourself Visual Knitting, just the regular knitting book, because there's more master patterns in here. And there's more things that I need to improve on as a knitter. And they're just wonderful teaching books. And they've got a couple more books that I want to get up in this that are Teach Yourself in the Visual Knitting series. And if I can get to the last page, I will tell you what they are. There's sock knitting and quick tips knitting. Bingo, right there. So those are 2 more that I want to pick up yet. And another thing you can do to get ideas from is you go to the library, your local library, check out knitting books. And whatever item that you're wanting to knit, check out the knitting books and get ideas from there. Go to craftsy.com. I'm not an affiliate for Craftsy. I am for Amazon, but I'm not an affiliate for Craftsy. So just, go there. So I'm not trying to get you to go there so I'll make a profit. Just anything to pay the bills and feed the cats. But no, Craftsy has some great courses. And if you hold out and you sign up for things, you can find out when they're going to have these great big sales. you know, you can get over 50% off on some of them, and that's when I buy. And you can perfect your skills, and you can learn how to do new things. Like if you're a crocheter, oh goodness sake, go and look at Stacy Trock. Look at her stuff. Oh my goodness. There's one that was on Crocheting in the Round. It's where I learned how to crochet hats and design hats. And she has things on Teach Yourself How to Design Your Own Amigurumis. And oh goodness, her stuff is just fantastic. And the same with Edie Ekman. For knitters, Jasmine, if you're interested, Edie Ekman has a pattern writing course where she teaches you to take your idea and put it into a pattern form. And the stuff that you print out, the course materials, is just fantastic. And it's what I use all the time to help me keep a consistent, uniform pattern as I'm writing it out. But check up Edie Ekman, or just put in knitting pattern writing, I think, and something will come up on that. But her courses are just fantastic. They really are. So anyways, that's basically it. It also helps, and yeah, okay, this is for knitters, but our crocheters, but I haven't seen anything like this for knitting, and maybe they do have these. But these little quick things for adding embellishments and stuff. I know Edie Ekman has an embellishment books in both knitting and crochet. I've got them. And it shows you how to do leaves and stuff, and it's just so simple to just go through, use these to design your own things to go on. Just that's where I got this one from, was using that little chart thing. So I always refer to all kinds of things. Some other stuff that you can't see up here, but I'm going to point anyway. I've got knit stitch and crochet stitch dictionaries. There's Edie Ekman's crochet borders. There's the Stitch and Bitch series. I've also got the crochet one on my Kindle. And the Stitch and Bitch, the Knitter's Handbook, is wonderful. That's my main reference for knitting goes. And then, oh goodness, please get down. And then there's shawls, wraps, and scarves. You can get loads of ideas from there. And one of the best magazines you can get is Creative Knitting. And I mean, oh my, is that a treasure trove. And then I've also got Debbie Abraham's Design Your Own Knits in 5 Easy Steps. And I like that one as well. And in the back of that one, there's a whole bunch of pages of crochet, of knitting graph paper. And oh, on the subject of knitting graph paper, there is a big difference between knitting graph paper and regular graph paper. And you find that out when you're swatching and you've used regular graph paper, and then when you knit it out, it's like, doesn't exactly look like how I made it. So use regular knitting graph paper for making your designs, because then they'll be more accurate to what you're really going to do. Let's try to think. Is there anything else? No, there's not. But I will give this big tip right now, and tomorrow, hopefully, if I have time, I'll get another video made. But I will give this big, important tip. Really big tip. Is when you're writing your patterns, use a spreadsheet. Save it to your computer, your laptop, on a disk, an external hard drive, anything you can save it to, so that you don't lose it, especially if you have like an Etsy shop and sell from there, or you sell off Facebook or off your own website, wherever you sell from. Because what's going to happen, and I will tell you from vast amount of experience, someone's going to come along and say, hey, could I have that in this collar? And you go, sure. And then you realize that, oh man, I have no clue where that went. What notebook did I put it in? Where's the notebook? I don't know. Who knows what I did with it? And then I've lost it. And I went through that. I went through that with this little guy when I was filling the wholesale order last week. When she ordered this, I thought I still had the pattern sitting around. I don't know what I did with the pattern. Pattern went off somewhere. It's not now. I've got it stored on a spreadsheet now. I'm sorry, I'm shaking that. I've got it stored on a spreadsheet now, so won't lose that one. And then make sure that you put tags on all of your spreadsheets. That way you can go through and just do a search, whatever, and it'll pop up and you don't lose that, because I've also lost patterns. I feel pathetic. I've lost patterns. I stored them on my computer. Oh, man. It's sad. So it's tough being me. But anyway, so that's it. Those are the tools that I use when I'm coming up with pattern designs and stuff. And it varies. Everybody's varies from time to time. Oh, and there's one more thing I wanted to show you. I forgot. Using 3x5 index cards to put your, and you guys probably already do this. I'm just slow on the draw. But you guys, sorry. Oh my. I'm sorry. Jeff the cat just farted. Oh gosh. Seriously. Oh, that's a fart of death, Jeff. Golly. Okay, sorry guys. Oh, you can quit. Alright. Oh man, I'm gonna gag. Okay, so 3x5 index cards. Hole punch them and put the choice of collars that you're going to use on this. Okay? And write out what they are plus the card number, the number on them. Like this top one is Karen Simply Soft Heather, because they had this Heather line that they were doing, and it's Autumn Heather 9501. And he's still at it. Oh goodness. Oh Jeff. So anyway, do that and it just makes it easier. And then you can put on the card, on the back, special notes and what the design was that you were doing at the time, and store them in an index card box. And that way, because they fold back. There's plenty of space. But store them in the index card box. And that way you'll always have them when you go back and you want to make the same thing again. So that's my big tip right there on that. And now I'm going to sign off because I've been on way longer than I planned. And that little boy, he's still loaded with gas. So, on that note, oh goodness, I'll see you later. Have a great day, guys.